All right, welcome. We're going to start taking a look at circles, and you guys have dealt with circles. You know what circles are, but we're going to start talking about some technical stuff. By the way, there's like people that do competitions who can draw the most perfect circle. You know what a perfect circle is, measurement-wise? Perfect circle is this, is when you put a dot and then you put an infinite amount of dots the same distance away. So let's say you had a string tied to this dot and it was 5 inches, and you put a dot and a dot and a dot and a dot. The definition of a circle is an infinite set of points that is the same distance away from a center point. Anyway, that's a little technical side of it. What we're going to do today is take a look at just the parts of a circle, like basically definition parts. A lot of you guys already know a lot of this, but I just want to be clear so we're good. First of all, you're going to need a center. All right, so you can fill that in. There's always going to be a center dot in a circle because guess what? That's where the circle was created from, is the center dot. And then you have a segment that connects from the center to any point on the circle. Write down real quick if you know what that's called. That is called the radius. So what is radius actually? Radius is half the distance across your circle. Okay? Now, so you're clear, this is a radius. Anytime I go from the center to a point on the circle, that's a radius. That's a radius. That's a radius. This is a radius. This is a radius. So put down on the side of your paper how many radii, that's plural for a radius, a group of radiuses is radii. How many radii are possible on any given circle? 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's right, it's an infinite amount. So I'm going to take all these off, and we have one radius. Typically, a radius is named by the letters. The center point, let's just call this A, and then where it touches the circle, this is B. So you might get a question that says this, like, what is segment from point A to point B? What is that called? And you would fill that in. Oh, that's the radius, because it is going from the center to the outside. Next up, what happens when I take a radius and, in essence, double it? Well, now you're having this thing that goes the whole way across. So you take a radius and then keep going the opposite direction. You now have this line segment that goes the entire distance across, which is now called your diameter. Your diameter is, I should put this, the total distance across a circle. So when someone says measure the circle, well, how do you tell the difference between this circle and this circle? It's typically by the diameter. Oh, this is a diameter of 2. This is a diameter of 6. Oh, you have a circle size 6 versus a circle size 2. So there's my diameter, typically, again, labeled with endpoints. So when the question says, what is AB? Oh, you would say that is the diameter. Now, we should talk real quick about measurements of this. So let's say your diameter is 10. If my diameter is 10, which is the whole way across my circle, the next question would be, I'm going to put a D here for diameter. If the diameter is 10, what is the radius? Oh, well, if the whole way across the circle is 10, radius is half of that. That must mean the radius is 5. Okay? So let's try just a few others real quick. So on your paper, diameter equals 24. Go ahead, fill in what the radius is. That's right, it's 12. This time diameter is 11. Go ahead, put in what the radius is. Well, radius is half of a diameter. Oh, that's right, it's 5.5. This time radius is 7. What's diameter? Did you mess up or did you pay attention? If radius is halfway across a circle, that means the diameter is double that. So how do I go from a diameter to a radius? Divide by 2. How do I go from a radius to a diameter? Multiply by 2. So that's how you convert back and forth between those. Next up, let me clean all this up. Oh, that's fun, all the little pieces I have to get. Yay. Should have thought that through better. Next up, last up, circle. Sometimes you get a segment that starts on one part of the circle, but then just goes to another part. Okay? Anytime you have this, I call it like a random segment. This is called a chord. It's a segment that has endpoints on the circle. There's a chord. There's a chord. 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 It's kind of like pizza slices, if you remember that. Now I'm going to show you one more chord that's very, very important. What's the chord called that goes through the center and shows you the true distance across a circle? There is one special chord on every circle. I shouldn't say one. Excuse me, there's multiple. You can go different ways. Do you know what that special chord is called? That's right. It's the diameter. So keep in mind some things. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. The center, radius, diameter, and chord. All right, good luck. Your job is now to identify these pieces